says recording.
All right. Hey guys, welcome this afternoon to this special HempSMART Zoom event. We're here to give you some great information. You know, if you're here tonight, it's very likely that you were invited by someone, maybe who knows you, loves you, cares about you, and thought that this information could very well change your life. So what I know is that you're here for a reason. There are no accidents. You might be watching or listening to the replay of this, and we really appreciate your time. It's 5 p.m. Pacific. My name is Doug, by the way. I'm in Portland, Oregon, and we know it's kind of a hot half the country. It seems like they're sweltering, or the other half are underwater. So it's not always easy to get here, but it's much appreciated. And it's just great that this is kind of an intimate time. You know, we're here tonight to talk about a movement, something very large that's happening throughout this country and throughout the world. And it's something that, you know, we'll talk about a couple of topics. That being, one is product related and health and your body and what's maybe possible. And the other, I think when we talk about that with folks and we talk about some new ideas and open some doors, you know, we have to also talk about the side of when that happens for people, large numbers of people everywhere, as a result of a happening or a, you know, just the perfect timing or perfect set of circumstances. We also have to talk about the opportunity. Sometimes that opens doors in other ways that we can all take advantage of. So I'm grateful that you're here, and hopefully you'll hear something tonight that may just strike a nerve with you. You know, our goal, quite simply, is just that you leave here maybe knowing more than you knew before. Maybe you're here and you're just curious, but we're talking about something that's you've probably been seeing a lot in the media. Hi, Samuel. And that is hemp. It's medical marijuana, CBD. Now, those things aren't all the same. You're going to hear about that in a moment. But what it is it's really part of a greater movement that's happening that we're here to talk about for a few minutes tonight. And that is that people everywhere are realizing they want better health. There are options out there that are non-toxic, that are natural, that are working for people. And they're getting greater access to some of these options. And when that happens and people have these incredible results sometimes with products that do that, or that help the body to get to that state, you know, people just can't shut up about it. They can't help but share their experience. And that's really what we're here talking about. So again, the goal is just to give you some great information. We won't be here all that long tonight, but hopefully you'll leave and say, wow, I think I would like to maybe take some action. We'll talk about that right before we wrap up. Guys, I think it's important. You know, I said we'd talk about your body and health, and also more of the lifestyle, maybe what you get a chance to do, your resources, things like that. But it occurs to me, and it's been my experience throughout life, that for most people, now there are exceptions, I'm not saying that this applies to everybody, but a lot of people out there, if you ask them and you just had a real honest, just, you know, down-to-earth conversation, they would say they would love to have two more things in their life. And those things would be optimal or excellent health, the ability just to be as active as they want, feel great, maybe sleep better, just know that they're giving their body everything it needs. And, you know, maybe they have a fabulous product experience. Maybe that opens up a whole another set of doors, because, you know, we're, as human beings, we want to enjoy that as long as we absolutely can. So most people would say, yes, I would love to discover new ways to optimize my health and to be on the planet in a great state as long as possible. And the other thing that tends to come up with people, that's more the quality of life. The other component that kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about tonight is the lifestyle piece. And that means, you know, you get that health, you're feeling great, you have that vitality and mobility. What do you want to do with it? You know, would you like to travel more? Would you like to just wake up in the morning and maybe just be invigorated and empowered and excited about, whatever, the fact that you're feeling so good, or the fact maybe, but it's that piece that, it's when we have options in life. It's when we have the resources to do things for other people that are meaningful for us. It's being able to travel. If traveling is your thing, all those things I'm referring to are the lifestyle. That's the other honest answer that people, I think, would tell you. They'd say, I would love to have some different options, but I just don't have them right now. And that's okay. So that's the American dream, I think. Better health, life enrichment, resources and options. And that I like to call that creating a life versus just making a living. We talk about it that it's not always easy to be in a mode of service and of giving and gratitude and thankfulness. It's not always easy when things when the chips are down, when things are tough, is it? When there's not enough money at the end of the month. So that's a real thing, having to do with stress and quality of life and how people feel. More satisfaction and fulfillment. And what I'm really talking about is, you ever see those people that you can tell they're so passionate about what they do, that they probably don't need an alarm clock in the morning. They wake up and they have great missions and goals in life, and they're probably changing people's lives, and you can see that twinkle in their eyes. So that's really what we're talking about. So the challenge that I talked about, that scenario, I think that most people would love to have those two things. The challenge, guys, that I come across is that jobs and most of the options that folks have out there, maybe it doesn't allow them, or maybe if you're watching this or watching the replay, maybe life right now doesn't seem that fair, or maybe it's not seeming to allow you to live up to your potential or do the things that you want. So it's tough when we're in that circumstance. And the reality for a lot of folks is to find a solution that would change their life. Let's say that it might require either a great deal of risk, and nobody really wants to take risk with anything, with their life, with their money, with their marriage, what have you. But, things like the stock market, Forex, trading, betting on the horse, whatever it is. But things that involve a great deal of risk, we don't really want that to be our life plan either, because that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's going to keep us up at night. So more risk than we would like. And the other thing that makes it almost impossible for let's say, average folks, I don't like that term, but let's just say the greater collection of humans out there, is that a lot of options require a great deal of capital. So if I want to go open up a Subway, it costs a lot of money. I probably wouldn't even need to open up a Subway if I had what it took to open it, right? Just a traditional business, all of those things, those costs. The other thing is that the knowledge to know where to direct your energy. People don't go to business school, a lot of them. I wish I had gone to more business classes, but having that, what I'm talking about is, I don't think a lot of folks out there, they would love to make those changes, but they don't know what vehicle they would choose or tap into that would be a really, I don't want to say sure thing, but that would be a great option for them. That would be realistic. Everything's there. They could get excited about. They could hit the ground running. So those are some of the challenges. And what we're here tonight to talk about is, one, some amazing advancements in health, in wellness, and some of those options very quickly, but also that the discovery of some things and the desire by people everywhere to want those products really is giving people like you watching this, like folks connected with this company, HempSMART, our affiliates, a vehicle that allows them to go out and have a winning strategy of how to get ahead, how to save more, how to help more people, how to have solutions where they don't have to reinvent the wheel, they don't have to invent something, they don't have to go to great lengths or capital or risk or all those normal things that are obstacles for folks to get ahead, to win in life. And so we're going to talk about what it looks like to have potentially the perfect solution, the perfect opportunity out there for you. All right, guys, so a couple of quick elements just to break it down. The first one I have in my notes here is the right timing. So if you've been following things on social media, maybe all the news stories on the popular news channels that you watch, things out there, you know, unless you've just, you know, moved here from another, you know, planet, I don't know. But really, honestly, everywhere we look, we see these topics, you know, people wanting natural choices, medical marijuana, hemp, CBD, and what that is helping the body to do. And that greater movement is something that not only has already doubled a couple of times quickly in size, but it's predicted to absolutely exponentially blow up over the next 2 to 3 years. It's significant because right timing, I have here in my notes, is so huge. If you're watching this and you've been involved in an opportunity before, maybe you've loved, we're talking about a word of mouth environment where you have a great experience and you just can't help it and you share that with other people. You might have found a great company or a scenario before, but I can tell you myself personally, I know several times I got to the table or I heard about something and I was excited, but I came in at the tail end of all the big growth and the abundance that was happening. My timing was just too late. So in this scenario, in this industry, in this umbrella of what we're talking about, we are just on the cusp of massive growth and monumental change throughout the planet. I mean, in so many ways, we can't even fathom how these products, what new products will come out, how they'll exactly be used for all these different things. But we know right now is that the timing is perfect because the numbers are exploding. Everywhere you look, the experts like Forbes, wherever you see stories about this topic, they all predict the same thing. And the trend is absolutely doing what everybody says. It's doing what it's predicted to do. So it's the right timing of when you want to be here. Interest is exploding. People are gaining access to new information, new validation, and new products. And you are absolutely here at the very beginning of all of that. So, guys, the second one on my list here that's very important, because none of this would be possible without it, right? We need a great story, and the story is, wow, how did this come about? Why does this seem like it's so new? Maybe it's not. Why is this the big buzz everywhere? And I've invited a good friend of mine, a colleague. She's here this evening. I'm going to bring her on in just a moment, but you know, I value her opinion so much and what she has to say because, one, she amasses a great deal of knowledge and information in just a few minutes, which we have, but also in the experience that she has out in the industry, helping thousands of people over the last several decades. And we're so excited to have her here, have her be a daily a part of this company, and someone who's very involved in HempSMART's medical board. So with that, Paula, hopefully you can activate your camera for a moment. And
hello there.
Paula Vetter, thank you for joining us for just a few minutes. One question I have maybe to start you out, Paula, is, you know, there might be people watching this recording that are saying, you know, some people might think that this is brand new, and others might think that it's not that new at all. And what's interesting, and maybe you could go off of this, is I know that hemp and its use for all kinds of different things is thousands of years old. But yet some of the discoveries that led to the blow up of the CBD market and the desire and what people are experiencing, that's fairly new. So it's not surprising that people may not know a lot about it yet.
Exactly, Doug. And what a lot of people don't realize is that our bodies are hardwired to use CBD. Our bodies actually produce small amounts of CBD when we're under stress, but it's used up very quickly. It doesn't hang around for a long time. So by supplementing with a good quality CBD, we're allowing our bodies to function the way they were designed to. The endocannabinoid system of the body, and I always say that's a 25-cent word, but the endocannabinoid system is specialized cells that are concentrated in the brain, the digestive system, and our endocrine glands primarily. They weren't discovered until 1992. So the endocannabinoid system, for doctors who graduated from medical school, before 1992, 93, never heard of this. So it's a relatively new discovery. But the endocannabinoid system is actually like the orchestra conductor for the body. And what it does is it regulates the communication between our cells, our organs, our glands, and our tissues throughout the body. And in doing that, it regulates all of our brain chemistry, it regulates all of our hormones, and it regulates all the inflammatory chemicals in the body. So that's huge. When you look at health challenges and wanting to be optimally well, if we can regulate and normalize brain chemistry, hormones, and inflammation, that goes a long way towards making people feel better and function better at a very foundational level. And when we look at hemp, I want to dispel some myths, because you're absolutely right. You mentioned marijuana and hemp and cannabis, and people get confused about the distinctions, and those terms are not interchangeable. Cannabis is a broad family, just like canine is a broad family. The canine family includes Chihuahuas and it includes St. Bernards, but those two members of that family are very different in their characteristics. Hemp and marijuana are two members of the cannabis family, but their characteristics are also different. They both share a revolutionary and remarkable substance called CBD that works to optimize our health and optimize the way our cells function. The thing about marijuana is that it contains a relatively high percentage, 20-25% THC. That's the part of marijuana that can make you high. That's the psychoactive part. Hemp, by definition, by law, has very, very minimal amounts of THC. And in our product, we remove that THC completely. So regardless of how much of our hemp-derived CBD you consume, you won't get high, you will not have any mind-altering effects, and you will not fail a drug test. So we're isolating the healing parts of the hemp plant. The thing that's unique about HempSMART is instead of sucking the CBD out of the hemp and using that alone, what's called CBD isolate, we actually use the whole hemp compound, and so it's CBD, CBG, CBN, and the active terpenes, the cofactors that make the CBD work best. We just take out the THC and get rid of that. So we have the best organically grown, high quality, third-party tested CBD that is full spectrum. It has all of the cofactors with it, except for the THC. So it is perfectly legal in all 50 states. No side effects. It is, I always tell people, CBD is not created equal. Because it is such a remarkable compound, everybody and his brother now wants to manufacture CBD. And you can go into a gas station and find bottles of CBD on the counter. They have been made in somebody's garage, I don't know. But all CBD is not equal. One of the things that people need to know is the hemp plant is great for the planet because it cleans the soil. It pulls heavy metals and toxins and pesticides out of the soil, but they wind up in the hemp plant. So you have to know where your hemp comes from. Ours happens to be organically grown in Colorado, and we can trace it to the field where it was grown all the way through to the production and the final product.
Wow.
It's third-party tested. We know it's free of contaminants, of heavy metals, of pesticides. So you want to make sure that when you're putting something in your body to improve your health, you're not putting in lots of other stuff that you don't want. So for foundational support of the body, our organically grown full-spectrum CBD with all the active cofactors is there. And the other part that I get excited about that we'll talk about in more detail sometime is our targeted support products for the brain, for pain relief, for our pets, for skincare. They also have that same wonderful organically grown full spectrum CBD, but we add organic botanicals for targeted support of those areas so that they work in synergy. So HempSMART is way ahead of the curve in terms of quality of product and application of product that make people look better, feel better, and function better on a daily basis.
And I know, Paula, if somebody's watching or watching the replay, if they go to the link of the person who invited them tonight, they could pull up any product, see what the product lines are, what they're recommended for. It could, and also see the ingredients, some of those ingredients that you're speaking to.
Exactly. And if they want to learn more about our CBD, they can also click on the top banner with the blog and read the articles I've written about how all CBD is not created equal, and learn a little bit more about the endocannabinoid system. But it's a growing, explosive market. Just make sure you're getting the best when you're sailing on that ship.
Excellent, Paula. Well, thank you so much. You know, it's funny. We talk all the time, and I actually heard something tonight I hadn't heard before. I learn something new every time you speak.
It just sort of comes out of my mouth, and I don't know what I'm going to say from one time to the next. But if I can impart a new little pearl each time, then I've met my goal.
Well, thanks so much. That was a great help in the product section of what we're speaking to. So, like I say, that's the magic. You have to have a fantastic product. It works. It's in demand. People everywhere are realizing they want it. People that love them have said, I've tried this. Here's how I'm feeling. You need to try some of this. So thanks so much for that.
You bet. My pleasure.
And I love the analogy about all CBD not being created equally because, you know, the third thing on my list, we've got the right timing. We're talking about the right products. And the third thing is you have to have the right company, guys. I don't know if any of you have ever aligned yourself with a company thinking it was going to be great and you're excited and it doesn't come together. You know, we are part of a very large globally publicly traded company. MCOA is our ticker symbol. MCOA, you can look that up. And what that means, though, what's important about that is that we have to be fully reporting and really operate on a level up here, higher than, you know, the number of entities in this space that can say that they are working on that level. There aren't very many at all. So it's really exciting for me, and hopefully as you're listening to this, to realize, wow, this is not your average setup. This is a company that's dedicated to using the best of the best in everything that we do and provide to folks that see something here tonight that maybe want to be part of what's happening. We've got the systems for support for our affiliates. And just so you know, an affiliate is just someone for HempSMART who more than likely had a fantastic experience with one or several of the products and begin to realize, wow, I kind of would like some of that lifestyle piece. You start thinking about all the people, or maybe you just start sharing your product story, and those folks become some of our most successful affiliates because it's just so natural to, you know, we talk about a great restaurant we went to, this great movie we went to, and when we take a product and we feel better or our life changes as a result, we can't help but not share that with other people. So anyway, that's 3, the right company. Right now we're creating tools and platforms for our folks that are going to get HempSMART to that level, to that highest level again in the space. Very excited about that. And 4, the last thing on my bullet list is a company that offers the right rewards. I can tell you that the ownership and leadership of this company is completely committed to not only rewarding our people with compensation, but a lot of different things. Some are here now, some are coming. But you know, whatever it is that you want, maybe you've been looking for something. Maybe you know that this is the big one. You know, a lot of folks that I talk to that are experts that have a lot of experience in the industry, everybody knows that this is the next big thing. And it's just a matter of finding what is the company, what's the setup, because it's really important that you do your due diligence, not only from a product user standpoint, but really from a standpoint of potentially launching a business, maybe a very successful business. So the right rewards, that's maybe improved health. It might be earning more income. It might be getting out of a job. Let's say that you know, getting your spouse out of a job that he or she is just used up in or not empowered by. All those different things. Maybe the reward for you is you're in love with the sustainability movement and you've been looking for the perfect set of circumstances where you get to make a major impact, not only in hundreds or thousands of people's lives, but maybe really help the planet while you're doing it. I mean, that's huge for a lot of folks. So, guys, what I would say with that is think about what you heard tonight. Hopefully there was something that might get you to that point where, you know, there might be some different scenarios. One might be that you get back in touch with the person who invited you or who sent you to this replay and say, I really would like some more information. What is your website link? Or maybe you might say, you know, I would love to get a sample of one of your products. What would you suggest? If you're someone that is watching this and hears this and realizes, and a light bulb goes off, you know, this is what I've been waiting for. I wanted to be early. I wanted to be in a massive scenario where I could be, you know, years from now, I could look back and say, wow, what a great setup that was. Maybe you want to get to that person and just say, hey, what would it look like to be a part of your successful team? How do I be a founding up-and-coming affiliate with HempSMART? How do I take advantage of this? Those are all options. I hope you'll consider one of those. And you definitely want to get back in touch with the person who invited you here tonight. If you're watching this and you just stumbled upon it, maybe as a visitor, you don't know anyone, you can go to HempSMART.com and get some more information. And I just want to encourage you to get out there and have fun. You know, we're here tonight about having fun. We're here about options in life. We're here about just enjoying what we do. If you talk with any of our folks helping grow the company, that's the way I see it, our affiliates, they have that great cause. They're excited. This is fun. It really is great. To a lot of folks that get involved, say they love the opportunity to add more purpose maybe to their life. They've always had a greater calling. So I want to encourage you, from a product standpoint, get some of these products, get a product. If you see more, maybe that passion is awakened in you tonight, find out more. But we are here every week. I want to thank everybody who's here. We will post the recording and the replay of this. And remember that, like I always sign out and say, you might just be one decision away from changing your entire life. That's it, guys. Have a great evening. Thanks so much for being here and for learning more about HempSMART, the CBD industry, where all this is going. Now you know, so you can't turn a blind eye. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye now.